The Toronto Blue Jays are about to make a decision that's going to tear their fan base in half. And honestly, it might already be happening behind closed doors. They just dropped $210 million on Dylan Cease, which tells you everything about their willingness to spend this offseason. But the real drama, the move that's going to define this entire winter for Toronto, comes down to two names, Kyle Tucker and Bo Bichette. Bob Nightengale from USA Today just threw gasoline on this fire by predicting the Blue Jays are going to sign Tucker and let Bichette walk. Now, his prediction also included Robert Suarez, but that ship already sailed when Suarez took $45 million from Atlanta. But the Tucker-Bichette part, that's still very much in play, and it's the kind of decision that's keeping Blue Jays management up at night. Let's be real about what we're talking about here. Bo Bichette isn't just another player on the roster. This is a guy who's been with Toronto, who the fans have embraced, who represents what the Blue Jays have been trying to build. Watching him walk out the door isn't going to be easy for anyone involved, but baseball is a business, and sometimes business decisions hurt. Tucker is 28 years old and coming off another all-star campaign, this time wearing a Cubs uniform after spending his first 7 years tearing it up with Houston. The Astros dealt him to Chicago for the 2025 season, and he didn't skip a beat. He hit .266 with an .841 OPS across 136 games. 22 home runs, 73 RBIs, 25 stolen bases, 91 runs scored, and 25 doubles. Oh, and he plays excellent defense in the outfield. Those aren't just good numbers. Those are exactly the kind of numbers you build a contending team around. Tucker gives you power, speed, the ability to drive in runs, score runs, and he doesn't hurt you in the field. He's the complete package, the kind of player who makes everyone around him better because pitchers have to respect what he can do. Now compare that to Bichette's 2025 season. He hit .311 with 18 home runs and put up 3.5 wins above replacement. On the surface, those are solid numbers. That batting average is impressive, and 18 home runs from your shortstop isn't nothing. But here's where things get complicated, and this is what Toronto's front office is wrestling with right now. Defense matters. It matters a lot, especially at a premium position like shortstop. Bichette has struggled defensively throughout his career. The metrics don't lie about this. He's not a liability to the point where you can't play him there, but he's not helping you win games with his glove either. When you're trying to compete in October, when every play matters, having someone at shortstop who isn't giving you plus defense is a real problem. Tucker, on the other hand, is a legitimately strong defensive outfielder. He tracks balls well. He's got a good arm. He makes the plays he's supposed to make. You're not worrying about him costing you games in the field. That difference between what Tucker gives you defensively versus what Bichette gives you is significant when you're evaluating these players. The consistency factor is huge too. Tucker has been doing this year after year. He's not a guy who has one great season and then disappears. He's someone you can pencil into your lineup and know what you're getting. That reliability, that steady production is exactly what teams pay for in free agency. You're not gambling on potential or hoping a guy bounces back. You're buying proven excellence. Bichette had a nice bounce-back year in 2025 after some down seasons, but the track record of consistency isn't quite there the way it is with Tucker. And when you're making a decision that involves this much money, that consistency matters. You need to know your investment is going to pay off not just next year, but for the length of the contract. The financial piece is obviously a major consideration. Tucker is going to command a massive deal. We're talking about a contract that's going to make the Blue Jays ownership sweat a little bit. He's one of the premier free agents available, and teams with money are going to be throwing offers at him. Toronto has the resources to compete for him, and they've already shown they're willing to spend with that Cease deal. But Tucker is going to cost significantly more than what Bichette would get on the open market. But here's the thing about spending big money. You do it when you're trying to win now. The Blue Jays aren't in rebuilding mode. They're not developing young talent and hoping to compete in 3 years. They're trying to win immediately. And that means you spend the money on the players who give you the best chance to do that. Tucker is that player. He's someone who elevates your entire lineup, who makes life easier for everyone hitting around him. The Blue Jays have met with Tucker. That's not speculation or rumor. They've sat down with him and his representatives, which means they're serious. You don't take those meetings unless you're genuinely interested in making something happen. And from what insiders are saying, Toronto's competition for Tucker isn't overwhelming. There are other teams interested, obviously, but the Blue Jays have positioned themselves well in this race. If they land Tucker, re-signing Bichette becomes extremely unlikely. The money just doesn't work. You can't pay Tucker what he's going to command and then turn around and give Bichette a substantial contract too. It's one or the other, and if you're Toronto's front office, you're choosing the guy who gives you more on both sides of the ball. And that's going to sting for Blue Jays fans. Bichette has been there through some tough years. He's homegrown talent, someone the organization developed and watched become a major league player. Letting him walk feels like giving up on a player who just showed you in 2025 that he still has plenty left in the tank. That .311 batting average isn't an accident. The guy can hit. But baseball doesn't run on sentiment. It runs on production and value. And when you evaluate Tucker versus Bichette, honestly, Tucker provides more of both. He's a better defender. He's more consistent. He brings speed that Bichette doesn't have, and he doesn't come with the defensive concerns at a premium position. The outfield fit makes sense too. Toronto needs help in the outfield. Adding Tucker immediately upgrades that group and gives them a legitimate threat in right field who can impact games in multiple ways. You're not just getting offense. You're getting someone who changes how opposing managers approach your lineup, someone they have to game plan around. Nightengale's prediction isn't some wild speculation. It's based on real information and real conversations happening within the industry. People who know what's going on behind the scenes see this as a legitimate possibility. The Blue Jays signing Tucker while Bichette walks is very much on the table, and it might be the most likely scenario we see play out this winter. The fan base is going to be divided if this happens. Some people will understand the logic, will see that Tucker makes the team better overall. Others are going to feel betrayed, like the organization gave up on a player who deserved better. Both reactions are valid. Watching a beloved player leave hurts, even when the replacement is objectively better. But Toronto is trying to build a championship team. They're not satisfied with being good enough to compete for a wild card spot. They want to win the division, make deep playoff runs, compete for a World Series. That requires difficult decisions. It requires choosing the player who gives you the best chance to achieve those goals, even when it means parting ways with someone the fans love. The Dylan Cease signing showed everyone that Toronto is serious about spending this winter. They're not operating with a limited budget. They're not penny pinching. They're going after the players who can help them win immediately. Tucker fits that description perfectly. He's the kind of impact player who changes the trajectory of your season, who turns a good lineup into a great one. Time is running out to make these decisions. Free agency moves fast, and once Tucker signs somewhere, that opportunity is gone. The Blue Jays can't afford to hesitate or second-guess themselves. If they believe Tucker is the right move, and all signs point to them believing exactly that, then they need to go get him and deal with the Bichette situation accordingly. This is what defining off seasons look like. Big decisions, big money, big consequences. Toronto is all in on trying to build something special, and that means making the tough calls even when they're unpopular. Tucker over Bichette might hurt now, but if it leads to October baseball and championship contention, everyone will understand why it had to happen.